Good evening and welcome to Wholesome Roots, where the babies are just waking up from a late nap in Mama's arms. How is everybody tonight? Excuse my mess in the background. I don't see anybody in the chat room. Am I live? Yes, you are live is what my screen says, but my chat room has nobody in there. I'm going to say hello in the chat. Anybody? Okay, I'm going to close out this 0 watching. Okay, there are 0 people watching. Or I'm looking at the wrong screen. Okay, I see some people coming. This is weird because I see you guys in the chat now. Rocky Brook Farmstead, Daybird, Aviaries, Tracy Skinner, Jasmine Cherie, Olivia Hibbs, Mary Cleveland, Jen RN, Susan Sullivan, Wendy Benjamin, Barbara Salopek, Jane A. Golden Pyrenees, Jasmine Cherise, Gonza Mike Carey. Hello, everyone. Now it says 8 watching. Okay, it says 14 watching on your end. Maybe I need to click refresh on my YouTube screen because it wasn't showing anything. So, refresh made the chat go away. And are you guys still there? Because my screen just went blank, but I see the chat screen again. Good evening. Okay, I think that fixed it, you guys. Let me pop up the chat. You guys must get tired of me always acting like I don't know what I'm doing every show. Okay, now I see myself. It's confusing. I'm telling you, it really is. Alright, you're all still here. I didn't lose you. Alright, let me scroll up. See, I didn't miss anything. I missed some people coming in. Sorry about that. The Living Garden is here. Angelia's here. Half Acre Dreams, Creating Essence. Brown Coat Homestead, Olivia Hibbs. I think I mentioned you already. I'm trying to skim through. Thank you all for joining us. Michelle Justice. No, baby's not sick. He just took a really late nap when it wasn't expected. I thought he was skipping his nap for the day, and he decided he was just going to take a late one. So, and when he falls asleep in my arms, he does not do well if I try to lay him down. And he was asleep in the bed, and then he got up and he was all disoriented, and he crawled into my lap and went back to sleep. Ryan is just washing up. He just put away the goats. And Rowan, what? Can you come say hi? Yeah, Liam's half asleep. He was asleep just 2 seconds ago. And Rowan is awake. Silly boy. Rowan, please don't put your tablet back on, honey. It's too noisy in the background. Oh, Transformers. Oh, the camera's up there. Ryan is on his way. He's just washing his hands. He just had to put away the goats for the night. And no, we don't have any babies yet. I can't believe it. I'm playing with Google Hangouts and figured out how to do panels, multiple people in the same stream. Ooh, that's fun, Jasmine. I'm using OBS, and my son Dalton knows how to use it really well, but I don't, so he's supposed to teach me some more stuff. They said, nice Transformer, Rowan. Rowan, do you see your name up there? See people saying hi to you?
Yeah.
Jasmine says, is that Optimus Prime?
No, it's Starscream.
Well, what was the first one you showed? Didn't you just have another one up? The first Transformer you brought over here, that was Optimus Prime?
Yeah. We haven't had Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
And I'm transforming into, and I'm going to show you what does he transform into.
Hello from California, Shannon Todd. What time is it there? Is it? It's 2 hours, 3 hours earlier. So 5 o'clock. Like it, people. Like it like you mean it.
August Prime transforms into a truck trailer
Yeah.
with cars on top, but it came with 8 cars.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny because, Vivian and Dalton are older. There's an 11-year difference between them and these two. So it got to the point where I was missing babies. And now I'm like, whew, I think maybe it was easier when I was younger and had those two. Because it feels like so much more work now.
It transformed into a jet.
It did. That's very cool, Rowan. Let's see. Rocky Brook Farmstead said, I played with Transformers when I was that young.
Oh.
That's cool, huh?
Yeah. What kind of Transformers name were they? And what kind of Transformers show
Hi,
was it?
Deb. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. What kind of Transformers show did they have back then, Rocky Brook? Deb, what are you cooking? If you can type and cook at the same time, I'd love to know what you're fixing. Wonderful chef, you. B-Lady Apiaries in the house. They said, hello, Rose and children.
Sometimes I have issues with this. When I pull this arm too hard and when I transform it, it just pops off.
Yeah, sometimes he has issues. If you could travel anywhere on your jet, where would you go?
I would like to go to workplaces.
Where?
Workplaces.
Workplaces? Like,
yeah.
what are workplaces?
Like important instructors.
Like important instructors?
Yeah.
Okay, high goals for this little boy.
Dirt.
He said that they were the same now, but they were cartoons.
Some of our comments are some cartoons. And it's okay if your Transformer
Ooh, chicken
has
taco
its
sounds
cone
good.
on. It's okay if you have your cone on. But
June is making
it down.
June is making several soups to Ken while she's listening. Boy, that sounds like a productive evening, June. Do you want me to get off this chair and you can pull it out and put the other chair?
I don't know.
B-Lady says, wow, our son had Transformers. I know how to play with them.
Yeah, and then we're playing more Transformer toys.
I know, right? Good answer, huh, Jasmine? He's taking after his mommy. That's right. He wants to go to conferences and learn things.
I have this speedboat heat wave.
And here's Ryan. Is that how you said it, Half Acre Dreams? Because that's how I read it.
Transform it. Let's transform it. And
wow.
These things can also move around like that.
So, B-Lady, you'll be happy to know I placed the reservation on 2 nukes today. So we will definitely be getting our honeybees. We have a friend, I'm afraid this is going to get spilled right there. I have a friend who said that they're going to do some splits on their hives and give us the splits. But they said it would be like May before that happened. And that's kind of late in the season for us because all of the nukes would be sold out by then. So I made sure to make a reservation to get 2 nukes to be sure that we'll have some. So that might mean that we have 4 hives this year. So I'm really excited about having some honeybees.
And honey.
Not this year.
Oh.
I don't want to jinx myself and steal any this year. We took one frame out of a full 10 frame deep, and it was full of honey. And I regretted it afterwards because that was when all the problems started happening, it seemed like, almost. I am trying to do an intro to video, but hubby keeps turning on the vacuum. Don't you love that? You know what the problem I have is we have a small airport near us, and the airplanes, even though they're small engine airplanes, they fly really low, and they always go over right when I'm trying to talk, or a big truck will go by on the road right when I'm trying to talk. This little boy is out. I may get some honey. We had quite a bit of honey the year that we lost our bees, so I feel like it was definitely some really bad advice. The guy that we got our bees from, not last year, but the year before, when we had the bees, he told me never to feed my bees, ever. Ever. And he also told me that they would clean up the wax moth that he sold me on used frames. No problem. And those were the two problems I found when we discovered that they were gone. Is that they had starved. Some of them starved, not all of them. There were only a few dead, but they had their heads in the comb eating the honey. And that there was wax moth had taken over the other hive too. So I know he told me not to feed them though, but now I know better, and I won't listen to his advice ever again. And that's why I didn't get any bees last year, because I didn't know where to get them, because that was the only person that I knew that was close enough to me to drive and go get them. You looking at yourself?
I have this another heat wave that's different, and he has a both energized, and I'm going to transform it.
Yeah, creating essence. You know, I have that same problem. But wow, you live on a busy road. We don't either, really. We live out in the country, but I do think this is a little bit of a crossroad.
Certain times of day, people use this road to get to the other major roads.
Even though it's a small road, it's a short road, and it's parallel. It runs, not parallel, but anyway, there's two busier roads that run parallel, and we're in between. And I think they use it as a cut through, like he said. So wax moths are very active in the south because of the cold weather. Oh, really? I didn't realize that the cold helped them.
It's a fire truck.
Because we don't have cold weather, you mean? Because it doesn't get cold enough to freeze them? That's maybe. But I've got 2 deeps and tops and lids and bottoms and screen boards and all that in the freezer at my friend's house in the deep freezer. I'm going to pull those out. They've been in there for a month. Well, more than a month. I'm going to pull those out and put them in a protected place, and then put 2 more in, so that way if we end up with 4 boxes, I'll be ready to go.
Yeah, that's the cool thing, is we already have all this stuff for the bees.
And I'm even going to set up a swarm catcher to try to get a swarm. The quail chicks are doing great. I keep meaning to do like a quail update, but there's not really much to update. They're just growing and eating and drinking a lot. Oh, I meant to grab that gallon jug and refill it with the magic water. I left it up there by the crib. Did you check on their water level?
Yeah.
I know 2 things about bees. 1, I love honey. And 2, I'm allergic to them, says Little Creek Homestead.
Same.
You're not. I mean, everybody's allergic in some respects. But I love honey, and I love honey everything. Like, I love to make infused honeys. I love to make, well, mead. You know, it's just so much to do with honey. I would love to do a June, is that how you pronounce it? Jun. It's a kombucha SCOBY that's designed to work with honey and not sugar. I'd really like to do that. When bees migrate, it's called swarming because the hive is too crowded. You can stop it by adding boxes and removing swarm cells. You have to watch your bees. Yes, exactly. We have some what people call survivor bees here, where they live in the wild and they live in trees and stuff. And a lot of times they'll send out swarms, and those are really, really, really lucky if you catch them. Going to Bakersfield, they have the honey bee box. Oh, scrolled too fast. Honey bee boxes next to the highway. I don't see why they should place them further in the almond trees. That would save the bees. Yeah, I think having them by the road is kind of rough on them. When do you leave for New England, Rose? As creating essence. You can't do that next to your brother's head. I'm afraid you're going to hurt him. We leave Thursday. My friend's coming over tomorrow morning to get her training in, make sure she knows what to do in the morning routine and everything, and then Cinnamon and Parsley go to their new home, and hopefully we'll have goats being born by morning.
It's supposed to be a busy day. It's shaping up to be.
What does mead taste like? I think it tastes a lot like wine in general, but with a honey flavor to it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe. It doesn't taste like just straight up honey. It's like, I don't, and also if it's dry, it depends if it's dry or if it's sweet.
Please don't bump Mama's arm when she's holding a
Just
sleeping
hugging.
baby.
Why don't you go play?
EpiPens are good to have around. Yes. Rocky Brook says he likes your Transformers, honey. He's been watching.
Optimus Prime, Bumblebee with a chisel energized, and Optimus Prime with a saw energized.
Ooh, Deb Kettleson, I knew you were making something good. She says she is making stir fry with pork, broccoli, mushrooms, onions, carrots, celery, and ginger over rice.
What time is second dinner? That sounds delicious.
Yes. How long will you be up here in New England? We are going to be there till Sunday. Sunday night we leave. So it's a short visit. They always are short. It's so hard to go away from the farm for any longer than 4 days. And this is the first time that all of us are leaving. Usually I leave Ryan behind to manage the farm, but he deserves a vacation.
I haven't left since 2014.
That was before we had goats, so it was easier to leave.
Yeah, and walking around tonight, it's going through my head. I'm like, all the little things. It's making me a little nervous.
It makes me nervous too. It does. It really does. But I can't even go there. I just have to believe that it's all gonna go perfectly. Paula Edens is taking a bee course in April. Very exciting. That's awesome. Debbie Hanna has started making goat milk soap. That is really awesome. Bee clubs and bee courses are a great place to start. I took a bee course before mine, and then I've been to a couple of the bee clubs meetings that were really good. I've actually got it on my list to sign up for a membership and start going to their monthly meetings. Wish I could go home to New England. I miss that place. Oh, I do too. I really love New England to visit now. Now that I've been in the South so long, it's different when I go home. It's kind of seems a little dingier, and but like the people seem meaner, but my family, that's the real reason that I'm going home. 4 days away. Yes, it is a long time. 4 days is like a lifetime to leave your animals. So I do have a goat expert-ish on call in case anything were to happen with the goats. So she'll be the emergency contact during that time. Hi. Oh. Do you have any intel on fermenting duck feed? I've done the fermented feed for the chickens. Did we give it to the ducks at the time?
I
can't remember.
I don't think they were big enough, or we had enough.
I think it was that first batch of ducks that we did that the raccoons got. I think they did. No?
Maybe. I don't know. It was hard to keep up.
I think they would do well on fermented duck feed because they like to wet their food anyway. Oh, I'm nervous about leaving the farm. I'm going to see my mom. She had a stroke a year ago Christmas. So a year and 3 months ago. And I have not been able to go home and visit her since. So that's part of the.
As far as it goes.
Then why are you trying to pull it further?
I didn't know. I had to
So
test
we're
it.
gonna go see my mom and my niece and her little one. They're coming up to visit. It's gonna be like a family reunion. My sister and my nephew are the only two that aren't gonna be able to make it. So we're gonna all be up there in Massachusetts together. My one sister that lives up there in Massachusetts has a cabin that she rents out on the weekends and stuff that she just recently purchased that she's reserved for us. So we get to stay at her cool little cabin up there, which will be really nice. We'll pretend like it's a vacation while we're there. And we'll get to eat all of the food that I miss so much. And we'll get to see my family and hug my mom. And we're going to do a work day at my mom's house. So since her stroke, she hasn't been able to do any of the yard work. And my mom is like the gardening chicken ninja master of all the world. And she's got pots everywhere and cold frames and stuff. It's just stuff that she can't move anymore in her situation now. So she needs help from all of us kids. And we're just all going to work together and get it all cleaned up and ready for her and accessible and easy for her to still do a little bit of potting and stuff.
23. Wow.
Daybird Aviary says, we're going on a short vacation tomorrow. Oh, really? Where are you going? So Robert and I, Daybird Aviaries, are finally going to get to meet in person. I'm really, really excited about that. He's coming here to pick up a couple of goats and some Chugar partridge and maybe some naked neck turkey neck chickens. I'm going to try to unload whatever I can on him. But we just really wanted to help him get his little herd established, and so that's the least that we can do to help, pay it forward for other people's kindness upon us. We want to make sure that we show kindness upon others as well. I am a little bit behind in the feed. I have 3 females and milk, therefore I make fresh, cold processed goat milk and honey soap. That sounds amazing. I hate being gone 4 hours. Yeah, I know. It is a little nerve-wracking. I've used fresh milk and soap before. The only soap I ever made was with fresh milk, but it was frozen into ice cubes. You have to freeze the milk or it'll burn when you add the lye to it. I am highly allergic to bees and onions. Both have stopped my heart more than once.
Wow.
Ooh, Vicky, you be careful.
I didn't know you could be allergic to onions. I mean, I know people say that because they don't like onions. I've never heard anybody actually allergic to them.
As I remember, Mass, it may be kind of cold. Yes, one of the things I looked at was the 10-day forecast, and the weather that we had last night, that cold front that came through here, the 29 degrees last night, and it was like 40-something during the day yesterday. That's exactly what it will be the whole weekend we're there, so it won't be too bad.
It was 24 when I got up this morning.
It is a lot of work to raise bees. I thought it was easy and simple, but I realized that just forcing myself to check them once a week was kind of hard on my schedule, But I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm going to be able to do it this time. My biggest issue then, I think, because it was 2 years ago, is I could not leave him unless he was here. But now I can put him in front of the tablet or the television on some educational program, of course, and just bring the monitor with me, and I can take care of it all. What's wrong? What?
Wow.
You want down?
Yeah.
Oh, certainly, sir. Well, that was one way to wake up. I want out.
do a video while you're there. It would be nice to see.
Oops, I'm sorry. I
Maybe.
just skipped your. Yeah, I was actually saying in the vlog I recorded today that I'm editing now that I'm gonna try to get a video of my mom's place.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, if I can get my mom on video, that would be really great. But mainly, I want to get some video of her plays. It's all pretty dormant still, but it's gonna be nice. And if I have good Wi-Fi, I might try to do like one night, well, when everybody goes home and we're just at the cabin by ourselves and just us, I might try to do a live show then. So I don't know about next Friday's live. It's if the reception is good and I'm actually home at that time, like home meaning where we're sleeping, then I'll do it. If not, then it'll just be random. Just be looking for a notification. Make sure the bell notification is turned on my channel so that you'll get a notification when I do go live. You are not bringing me a Nigerian buck or any cats or any hatching eggs unless those hatching eggs are something rare and cool, or ducks. No chickens. But I can't do hatching right now because we're going out of town and I don't trust my incubator to get itself stabilized. That first week or so, it seems like I have to keep an eye on it a lot.
Now you can leave with some cats. We'll talk about it when you come.
Hello, Cab7. How are you? Good to see you. I've been missing some people. Hello, Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. How are you today? We were just talking about bees. You must have had your ears ringing. Hello, Four Hearts Ranch. Hello, Sierra Moxley. Bunch of people just came in, it looks like.
Wow, yeah, looks like it.
Where did I go? Ooh, snow. I missed the snow. I have 2 goats that are going to kid before we leave. And they'll be able to just keep the kids on them so that the farm sitter doesn't have to milk them. We'll just have the 2 easy milkers for her. So, Kitty and Sister Ray are supposed to be kidding right now. Today was their due date. 150 days was today. So I'm like, okay, ladies, anytime now. Kitty is super close. Her udder is like tight.
Yeah.
Did you feel her ligaments? Still there?
Yeah, still the same.
Any softer? Are you the only one of your siblings that moved away, Rose? Not really. One of my siblings moved far away like me. My eldest, she moved to Arizona. And then my other 2 sisters and brother live pretty close. But my brother and sister moved to Nantucket Island, which is still Massachusetts, which is still really close. But the logistics of living on an island and having to get a ferry ride to come off island and blah, 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 and all that, it's a lot harder for them to, you know, go home and visit. And so they don't always go home and visit as often. But my sister, the one sister that lives on Nantucket, is the one that bought the cabin. So she is actually spending more time near my mom. The cabin is in 5 minutes from my mom's house. So she's spending a lot more time on the mainland now and having her business run from afar. Hello, NKY Homesteading. How are you tonight? Who else did I miss coming in?
So is someone going to take care of your goats, etc.
Where does it say
daily? Well, we're gonna put Fancy Girl in charge. I think she's up to the task.
Yeah, you think so?
No, not really. No, we have somebody that's gonna come.
Yeah, we'll have somebody that's gonna come twice a day and do all our morning and evening routine for us. It'll be a little bit different than what they're used to. It might be at slightly different times, but they'll get used to it. They'll be okay. They're very flexible.
They'll get their essential needs taken care of.
Emu, yes, I want an emu so bad. Pheasant eggs when you get home. I suggested that to Ryan, and he was like, what am I gonna do with them? Set them loose and go hunting?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm that far behind.
That actually sounds fun.
In the chat? Whoa, how did I? Alright, I'm gonna start where we are and work my way backwards in the chat.
Or go up and highlight a comment that you know was the last one. And then...
It's too hard to follow. I would rather be down there where Rose is than up here in New England. Well, I agree for full time. But I do like to go home to visit. The garden planting is stalled right now. We're probably not going to get anything planted until after our trip, and so probably 2 weeks from now we'll get some more stuff planted, some more seeds in the ground.
Yeah, we have a busy day tomorrow, the day, and then rain's coming in tomorrow night, and Sunday it's supposed to rain all day.
So this is my last 2 days of having Ryan here and not at work to help me get everything ready before we go out of town. So he's gonna be working his butt off.
When am I not?
This is true. This is true. Oh, this man, he's a good hard worker. Hello, Blue Sky Acres. Sorry I missed you coming in. I'm trying to move backwards in the chat now, and then I'll catch up to the newer comments. Baby goats are adorable. I do love them. I can't wait. I'm really interested in seeing what colors they're going to produce, mostly because we have such a different cross happening with Bo and Sister Ray with her spots and Bo with an alpine. That'll be really cute. All right, I think I actually was caught up more so than I thought I was. I wasn't as behind as I thought. All right, so garden planting. I see when I see those in bold, like Mike Carey put his comment in bold. How's the garden planting going? That's so much easier for my eyes to catch. So that was easy for me to figure out where I left off. Oh, Jerome B. Farm, I'm sorry you're leaving. I hope you have a great night. Thank you for joining us and stopping in, even if it's just for a second to say hello. It's so hard working out the logistics of leaving the homestead overnight. Glad you guys have a farm sitter. Yes, it is a bit nerve-wracking. This is the first time we've done it, so we're crossing our fingers. If it goes well, we might try to do it again in October for the Homestead of America's conference. How about a buffalo?
What do you mean?
Can I have a buffalo?
Just to have a buffalo?
Yeah, a buffalo. I don't.
Can you do they have good milk?
Yes, they do actually, I think.
I think that would be really awesome.
Once I get
to have a buffalo.
Yeah, that would. Once I get to my land, I don't think I'll ever want to leave it. Says me now. Vic, it's so true. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave my farm. I really don't. I love it here. I find my peace here. It's hard to leave, but I have to see my mommy. I need my mommy. Be sure that farm sitter knows how to recognize scours. Absolutely, Carrie. Thank you. And how to treat. Yes, she'll have a full treatment schedule listed out for anything that might pop up.
We'll be reachable. Too.
Right. And we do have an emergency goat person on call as an emergency call. I don't know if you were here when I said that. My doe is due Monday, and I'm thinking she will pop sooner. Blue Sky Acres says. That's exciting. I thought Kitty was going to pop sooner. She's tricking me. I hope Sister Ray has spotted babies too, Lynn. If she has spotted babies, and I have spotted little Bo babies, oh, they better be girls, is all I can say. If she has boys, I'm going to cry. Because I don't need any more boys. At all. Unless they're from, well, even from Fluffernutter. I don't know.
We could always have barbecue sandwiches.
Hey. Thank you, Crystal, for wishing us a safe and wonderful trip. You can check and then leave the bees for a week or more. Oh, that's good. Good to know. I know I've done them. When I had them, I was doing them every week. That's what I was told to do. Better steaks, better burgers. I want a herd of bison. Lifetime goals. That's a good lifetime goal, creating essence. My neighbor has Buffalo Farm, but about 50 head. Wow. Do they milk them? I don't think I'd want to milk a buffalo, Christy. That says.
I mean, you milk cows. I mean, hairier. They got more hair on them.
B lady, I agree. I prefer my family to come here. Unfortunately, with my mom's health situation, it's a little bit harder for her to travel now. So I've got to have to go see her. I think it's a good idea, J&A Golden Pyrenees. Why wouldn't you milk a buffalo? Blue Sky Acres, you don't think it would be fun either? Is barbecue better when it's spotted?
Of course. I mean, and for the buffalo, I mean, I could say it. I milked a buffalo this morning.
Little Creek
What'd you
Homestead
do today?
just made a great just for the manly factor. That's the only reason why he wants one. Little Creek Homestead just made a great point. I'll take a boy spotted baby rose. Anyone would take a spotted baby boy. All I gotta do is put a rubber band around those nuts and he's a pet. I won't have any issues selling spotted boys. That's kind of why I wanted spots in my herd, is to make it easier to sell. A buffalo is big like a bison. Sorry, Rowan asked 10 times and I was ignoring him. But yeah, wethers make great pets. When you put a rubber band around the boy and he's no longer able to procreate, they make great pets. And spots weren't as important to me as milk. I got very lucky and I found both. So now my herd is going to be even more so what I want it to be.
Curry goat is amazing. That would be delicious.
Debbie Hannah, that is very, very interesting. You must have meat goats. Setting up deer feeders on timers to feed your goats when you go out of town. So we can't leave ours out at night. They have to go in the barn at night. It's part of their routine and for safety and everything. And they're very routine animals. They sit at the gate crying as soon as it gets dark, and they have to be milked. So Dolly Perry, it probably does depend on the buffalo. I think that you would have to raise it from a baby and teach it that it was a dairy animal to make it work. Curry would be good, Ryan. Oh my gosh, I love goat curry, Deb. Oh, it's like when we go to the market that sells goat meat, we always get it and we make curry goat. It's so delicious. It's been a long time since we haven't been up there to that market. Are you flying up here or driving? We are flying. Yep. You know, I was able to find tickets that were cheaper than buddy passes. I couldn't believe it. It was like, what? I had ground bison for dinner last night. It's pretty good. Yes, I do like bison meat. It's very good for you, too. Very good lean meat. I don't think so just for meat. Kind of big to milk. Come on. Why are you so against us milking these buffaloes? Really big is really cool. He'll be really manly. Jen, are you serious about wanting a boy? For you, I would leave the testicles on if you needed to make him part of a herd.
Bee ladies.
You read.
I milked a buffalo.
Bee lady said, "Yep." You could say, "I milked a buffalo from traction in your hospital bed." Sammy just wants one of your goats, Rose. Oh, maybe when you move to your new place, we can take a long drive and bring one to you. Sammy, I would love to give you one of my goats if you were closer. Can they ever be too old to band a buck? It's better to do it older, actually. If you do it when they're too young, they can get urinary calculi really easily later in life. So it's actually the rule of thumb about being able to band, of whether they're too old to band, is, well, are they too big to band? Make a circle with your fingers, Ryan.
Why? What?
The testicles hang down from two cords. So if your rubber band can get over there, and you might have to take one and pull it through, and then the other and pull it through. If you can get the rubber band around it, then he's not too old. So that is, there you go. Lynn Smith, I bet you weren't expecting that tutorial.
And next we'll demonstrate with a pair of kiwi.
Golden Purity says, if I wasn't so far away, I'd sell my soul for one of your bucklings. I currently have no buck, so there won't be any babies this spring. Oh, I tell you, every day I regret selling those 3 bucklings last year. Those were premium breeding bucks, and I had to let them go for $100 because I had nobody else that would buy them, and it broke my heart. Those were $400 bucks each, and I had to let them go for $100 because nobody would buy them.
Was one of those barbecue?
Yes,
Yeah.
we named it barbecue. Sorry, you made me choke. Kiko goats is what Debbie has that she leaves the. Right, Jen? You are not too far. You know, we should get together anyway, even if you don't come get a goat. My spotted Nubian buck here in Texas is for sale. Ooh, Kiri, I wish I was closer to Texas. If I were to get another buck, I know, not yet, not yet. Fluffernutta's got a couple of years before we're done with his genetics. I would totally get one that was a heavy milk breed spotted buck, just to add even more spots. They are a little bit addictive, aren't they? Your Kiko Billy weighs about 300 pounds. Woo! That's a big boy. Bo probably doesn't weigh even 200, huh?
Yeah.
He's a smaller buck, but that's okay. Y'all are too funny tonight. Thank you, creating us. So we're trying. Right? B-Lady Apiary says, Rose, I might band an animal, but I sure wouldn't have the nerve to go back to the same one and unband them. Oh, man. Little Juniper, Fern's sibling, the one that we recently sold, he somehow got his band off. And I think it was bad bands. They came from China. I didn't know that when I bought my bander and bought the bands with it, that it was coming from China. I just was looking for a good price on the bander, you know, the tool that used to open the elastic. So I threw away those rubber bands after the second one came off. The second one we put 2 rubber bands on the second time and they still came off. So they had to go buy new rubber bands and do it themselves. And they said it worked fine and never came off again. Don't spit your dinner out. It sounds too good to waste. Yeah, we banned our goats. When I am in Florida on and off, our home there is 5 miles from the Georgia line. Woo! So you're probably about 4 miles. 4 hours.
Yeah, still a good few hours.
4 or 5 hours. I need new genetics or I wouldn't be selling. Yeah, that's gonna be me someday. With Fluffernutter, when his genetics run out, I can't keep him, and I've already said that I'm never selling Bo, ever, because he's the first baby I ever had. Good evening, Patty Rose. Life happens. Good to see you.
Hello.
When they're 2 weeks old, that's a little early. You can end up with urinary cocci banding that early on. I know some people have to do it because, what is the breed? Nigerian dwarfs. They'll actually become sexually mature before they're done weaning. So if they're still with their mom, that would be a very difficult situation. I don't know what I would do. Risk the urinary cocci versus risking getting mom pregnant from her baby. I'd have to give that a lot of thought if I was in that situation. That would be fun, Jen. That sounds like a perfect match. We'll have to do that sometime. I like Nubian. I just need new genetics. I love Nubians.
What kind of bird is in the background?
Oh, did he pop his head out?
Well, they heard that or they saw the cage. That's Squirt. He's an Amazon, a blue crested,
Fronted.
blue fronted Amazon. He's probably older than me.
Yes. Yeah.
So that means he's like, he's older than 35. So
He's 38 this year, right? Because he's the same age as Emily.
I think so.
And Emily's 2 years younger than me. Yes, I'm going to be 40 this year, okay? Shh. Folks, what does it mean when goats' genetics run out? Okay, so for me, it's not that the goat's genetics run out. It's that I have a lot of saturation in my herd. So your buck is your most important part to your herd. So he's going to give all of his genetics to a whole year of offspring. So when when you have a buck for too long, you end up with all of his offspring. Well, now who do they breed to? So then you have to bring in a new buck for them to be able to breed to. So you kind of end up doing an overlap usually with a herd of our size. You usually have two bucks, one that's coming and going. It's called a junior herd sire and a senior herd sire is what I've most commonly seen it referred to. I mean, everybody's a little different, but that's what I have the most experience and knowledge of. Have fun closing the coop, Dolly.
Yeah.
Oh, he was peeking around. Yeah, he gets curious about things sometimes.
Ooh.
I had to use a very sharp knife for
Yeah.
my 2-year-old breeding buck. He's related to everyone, and I was too attached to sell him, so the cojones had to go. He's a chubby lap goat now. That's basically what Bo is. He is a lap goat. He's so friendly, and he still got his cojones. And I don't know that I would be ready to do that surgery, but I've heard that it's very easy to do right on the farm. It's just a slit, pull the tubes out, you yank them,
Yeah.
and you're done. So, sounds like fun, huh, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Christy Betts need to close the. I'm thinking go close the coop is code for you don't want to hang out with us.
Don't say that. Christy loves us. I lost the boy because he was banded too early, not by me. Yes, it's very, very, very balancing act there. It is hard. I'm sorry about that. I'm having trouble teaching my yearling buck to allow his feet trimmed. Any tricks? I just did cinnamon and parsley today so that Robert wouldn't get kicked. And Cinnamon was so upset. He was like, "Why are you holding my feet still and making me do this torture?" Because I think he's only had them like once before because he's so young. But he was pretty good. Parsley was a little bit more agitated. She screamed so much that she got foam in the corner of her mouth. I want to give a shout out to Jeremiah Obadiah. Hello, Jeremiah Obadiah. How are you? Yes, brown coat, I did. I was actually on the phone with her all day that day. It was very, very hard. Willow Creek Homestead, they've been raising rabbits for a little while now. And Papa, their favorite pet and breeding rabbit, had a really bad foot injury. And Trisha was home alone and had to dispatch him. And it was very hard for her. Very, very hard. I cried. I was crying all day with her. It was difficult. He was always a lap goat. Now he's a non-smelly lap goat. Yeah. That's a good idea. I would probably have to have one of my braver friends come over and do it for me if I could find someone willing to, because that would be a good idea for Bo, because he's so sweet. He would be really good for that. So for trimming, the tips and tricks is trimming, I put them in the milk stand and I lock their heads so they can't get away. Banding is like, if you ever had a rubber band around your wrist for too long that was too tight and your fingers get numb and tingly, It doesn't hurt. It just gets numb. So
Yeah.
it eventually, just makes everything numb down there. And it's uncomfortable at first because it kind of pinches the skin a little bit or pulls on a hair or two. So it's a little bit uncomfortable at first. And then they don't feel anything. It just slowly shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks into a dried up raisin. And then it falls off and there's no wound at all. It's actually a very, very, what I consider a humane way of doing it. Hoof cutting is like trimming fingernails.
Yeah.
It's all
you
it
ever
is.
cut your nails too short? I mean.
No. Well.
Have you ever cut your own?
I don't cut my goat's nails too short.
That's what I'm saying though. If you accidentally cut your nails too short, it's probably what it feels like.
I did nick one toe one time. So it's just trimming fingernails. So. Oh, good! Yay, neighbor aviaries. I'm glad. Jeremiah Obadiah. We can sing a song for him if that makes him even happier. Makes your house explode. So trimming your nails. It's as simple as cutting your fingernails. If you cut too low, like he started to say, which I was like, no, don't say that. What are you talking about? I did it once. On all the times I've trimmed, I cut just a little bit too much off the tip because you cut just a flush with the ground, and I cut just slightly angled up on the tip, and because it was real pointy and I was trying to get the real sharp pointy edge off, and I just did a little too much and it bled. A little tiny dot of blood came out, and I used blood stop on it. So you always have blood stop on hand just in case of accidents. You can have an accident just like you can when your baby is a little tiny baby and you're trying to trim those tiny nails. It's hard. Eli was a very nice smelly buck. The does loved it. Me, not so much. Did you see Aunt Bree's video where he castrated the calf? That was bloody. I heard a lot of, I don't know how much of that was blood and how much of that was the iodine he was using. So it's hard to, it was kind of hard for me to tell because, I don't know. Lots of people do that on a regular basis. So I was wondering if they had to quicken their nails like dogs do. Yep. So if you go too short, you'll cut it, and you do have to have blood stop on hand just in case. Debbie Hannah says, we have a boar goat that adopted us. Her original owner abused all of his herd. When he shot all of them, somehow One-Eyed Wendy adopted us. She's so sweet. Oh, how sweet. How sad that he did that. He didn't do that for meat or anything. He just killed them all. Oh. People can be weird. I can't wait for Miss Patty to move and get goats again. Me too. Right, what Lynn Smith said. She said that she saw the Art and Bree video, and he's a nurse, so I think he did a good job. I'm sure. Exactly. He's a nurse. He knows how to make incisions. I'm pretty sure he could figure that. If it's something I'm willing to try, and I'm not even a nurse, and I would try it if I wasn't such a wimp, but I feel like the procedure itself is simple and easy enough that I could do it, and I would probably succeed. And there'd probably be some blood, but I don't like any of my hoof trimmers. I've decided that today. Ryan got me a new pair at Christmas. They're horrible. But I realized that the bolt in the center was loose. And I tightened it a little bit, and it seemed like it cut better, but I was on the last foot. So I don't know if it was, I don't know for sure if it got better because the bolt was loose. The orange one's from Jeffers. I've heard a lot of people say that, and I'm actually, it's on my list of things to do to make a Jeffers order. So I might look into getting some of those, Jen. Thank you for that recommendation.
What, buddy?
You didn't realize that goats could be so expensive, especially bucks. If they're from good breeding lines. Both of the bucks that we bred to in the past, before we had Bo's daddy, and who do we have still that's from that second breeding? Precious was the only doe. out of all those breeding from Tornado. Remember? You remember Tornado coming and breeding. Precious is the only one. Wow, that's really going to be interesting to see what happens with Precious as a doe. So, Bo's daddy and Precious's daddy were both $1,000 bucks. $1,000 bucks. So yes, seeing a goat for sale, a dairy goat for sale for $600 from good breeding is normal, very normal. $400 is from normal ranges of okay bred, not bad, not good. I got into goats when a young bored doe just showed up at my place. I'm convinced she was dumped out there. Oh, wow, that's interesting. And now you are totally into goats. That's a really cool story. Your husband says no more goats. No, Patty, we will talk him out of it. Robert, you are a wimp. But we love you anyway. Tara is late to the party. Hello, Tara. Always use lots of iodine. Yep, it is good. So Ryan better pick out better gifts.
Hey.
What?
Because I got you those as a gift, and they suck.
Oh, the
So I
trimmers.
gotta pick better gifts.
They were supposed to be really good ones. He did his research. They're titanium and all that.
I ordered them on the internet. What do you expect?
Right? Hello. Getting started on homesteading. Glad to have you. Hello, Green Gables. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Jen says, I'm a nurse and I don't think I could get my goats still enough to do cut castration. Yeah, huh? The keeping them steady enough. I didn't even think about that. That would be kind of scary. Jackie Comer was late too. It's okay. It's okay to be a little late. Party's not all the way over yet. Uh-oh, Christy lost her internet for a little bit, but she is back after putting away the chickens. My breeder rents out bucks for like $50, registered and all. That's good. Renting out bucks, if you're close enough to somebody that you trust enough that has a clean enough herd, is a good way to do it. That's what we did with Tornado when he bred all of our goats last year. Was that last year or the year before? Oh gosh, the years just blur together. Precious was the only outcome of that, so the rest were all bucks. And that's something to keep in mind, is they say that the bucks determine the breed of, the sex of the babies. So if you have a buck that's producing all bucklings, you might want to reconsider. Good animals are expensive, and caring for them properly can be expensive too.
Yep.
Yes. We found that out the hard way this summer. I mean, we find it out the hard way every week too, really. Luckily for us, in the past year or so, egg and milk sales were enough to cover feed costs, but we've lost a bunch of egg customers, and now we're like, okay, people need to buy some eggs. My friend with boar goats has goats that's expensive.
I think hay is like the biggest thing.
Well, because of the winter. Yeah. And it's been winter, so that makes sense that our feed costs have seemed kind of high lately because we've had to feed more hay. And once we move the paddock, which we'll do as soon as we get back from Massachusetts, we'll be able to feed less hay during the day.
I've learned you can't take your hay source for granted either, because my normal feed store more than once currently has lost their stock of hay because no new trailer was dropped off, and I've had to find other sources of hay and go to different stores and get different hay. It's been a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan, you can't go wrong with diamonds.
But she doesn't care about jewelry or anything, you know.
It's true. I'd rather have a new goat, which is what he got me for Valentine's Day, so I'm happy. Holy moly, Eli was $50. That's really cheap. So you did good on that one. We also, keep in mind, I'm talking about registered high-end genetic lines of dairy goats. Meat goats are definitely not as high as the dairy goat prices unless they're from wicked high-end show goat lines. Friend told me I had to name the Bordeaux, so I named her Lawnmower. Oh, that's cute. Just saw that old... What? Oh, no. Green Gables, thank you for telling me. I didn't know that. Green Gables says that old Alabama gardener, Charles, is in the hospital. He had a stent put in today, and he should go home tomorrow. Oh, that's scary. Oh, man. I'll be praying for him. Thank you for letting me know. I'm glad that he's going home tomorrow, though. That's a good sign. A really good sign.
Just like that, it's 9 o'clock.
J&A Golden Pyrenees says, same. Forget the rocks. Give me goats. Yes, or a peacock or an emu.
We don't need an emu.
I want 3 emus.
We've got no need.
And I want a pair of male and female peacocks of regular peacock color and white. Part-time permies, you're so late that we are saying goodbye. But I've been missing your shows. I'm sorry. I keep missing your live shows on Sunday as well. So I guess I can't complain.
I like emus and peacocks, but they're like pets. I mean, right?
Time flies when you're having fun, right, B-Lady? She said, wow, 9 already. Emus are pets. Yes, I have every right to have a few pets in my repertoire. I have enough livestock. How do you know if the goats have a good bloodline? Research, looking at their bloodlines. There's the American Dairy Goat Association registration. You can look back and see where you can trace them all the way back to as far back as they go and see what genetic lines they come from. And the herd names is a good way to look at it. If you start to get into looking at a certain breed of goats, you'll start to recognize the good herd names. And that's what happened with me. Before I got goats, I saw herd names that were everybody was talking about that were so amazing. And this one, and this one, and this one. And this herd is a really good herd. And that herd is a really good herd. So you start seeing those herd names coming up on the genetic list, and you know that they're going to be good because they come from good genetic lines. Another way to know is the Dairy Herd Improvement, DHI, is a score that is given when you have milk test done. And the milk test is something that you have to sign up for at the beginning of the year and have done all year long. And it tests the level of your cream and this and that and the other thing. Like, just amazing. A bunch of stuff is tested. How much milk, how many pounds of milk per day, how many, you know. I would like to do that, just not this year. So we'll see.
Debbie's got to go because her one-eyed Wendy started labor.
Oh! Congratulations, Debbie! That makes me want to go check on Kitty.
I knew that's what she was going to say.
Oh, it is 9 o'clock. Mine are just mutts. They aren't worth much. They're just pets. And that's great. That is wonderful. Pets are great. I would have pet goats if I didn't want to be like this milking dairy herd breeder person that I'm hoping I can become. Then I would totally have them just for pets. And we do have a few out there that aren't registered and that are just for pets, and because I know that they have good genetics, I can tell by looking at them. You look at their body shape and make sure that they're the proper proportions and that their conformation is just right. You look at the udder and see how well it looks. There's just so many different things that go into it. And then the other testing that's done on a yearly basis is linear appraisal, and it'll show up on the genetics as an LA and a score. So you can have your goat scored in a linear appraisal to have it carried in their genetic files with the American Dairy Goat Association for the lifetime of that animal.
Ooh. Okay.
Peacocks are not noisy. Meow, meow, meow. That's such a pretty sound. Daybird Aviary says emus are awesome, but mine are duds. Deb, the first time I heard one, I thought a woman was calling for help. I did a good impersonation of a peacock, right? How much do Angora goats run? I'm not sure. I had a friend that had Angora goats way back. Emus run wild in the outback here in Oz. Oh, Jackie Comer, I would love to see that. So you could sell goat milk to a dairy. No, I can only sell my goat milk in the state of Georgia as pet milk only and just pretend that I don't know that they're going home and drinking it. Because it's raw goat milk, and Georgia's got weird paranoia about that. Even though it's perfectly fine and healthy and safe, and it's actually better for you than pasteurized milk. I got my first goat, a pure Saanen goat, for a family doing 4-H for only $25. Wow, that is amazing. Dolly, I live near a world-class all, and they can be heard when driving by. Oh, must be talking about the peacocks. My mama had a couple of sons, but they had difficulties kidding, so she liked others best. Peacocks are loud and noisy. I love the noise, though. I do. Cockatoos are loud and noisy.
No, blue-fronted Amazons are loud and noisy.
No, conures. Sun conures are loud and
Yeah.
noisy. I don't think Ryan likes your bird called by his hands over his ears. I know where you can get free peacocks for free if you can hatch one. I can totally hatch one. Kiri, yes, I can hatch. I can hatch. I'm gonna sneeze. Geese are loud and noisy. Ryan doesn't want geese for that very reason.
Geese are jerks.
Kiri, if you really do know somebody that will ship me peacock eggs, I will totally take you up on that offer. Because even if Ryan doesn't let me keep them after I turn them into beautiful, wonderful pets, I could sell them. And they would sell very well around here because people are looking for them. Folks purchase dried goat's milk to use when making goat's milk soap. Wonder how they dry it. Something to think about.
Daybird Aviaries almost got arrested because of blue-fronted. Well, guess what? At our old house, one morning, when Squirt was being an a-hole like he does sometimes.
Ryan, this is a family show.
I didn't say any bad words. And then
sorry about that, guys.
A knock on the door, and there was a sheriff's deputy. Somebody called and said they thought that they heard a kid yelling or something. It was the bird.
And with that, we're going to say goodnight so I can go put Ryan in the timeout corner. Geese are noisy but good watchdogs, yes. Wait, I missed something up there. His name was Thunder, and when we got him, we never got around to changing. We always called him T. He lived to be 11 years old. Not sure what that was. Geese are messy, yeah. Bee Lady, they like to put everything in the water. Yeah, ducks do the same, though. Thank you guys. Hope you have a great trip. No worries, your farm sitter can watch the vlogs for answers. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened to me, Daybird Aviary said. My mom used to have a minor bird. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Can I have one? I want one of those too. Naughty Ryan. Love you, Ryan. Oh, give him slack. He didn't say it.
I didn't say it.
Have a great evening, people. Golden Pyrenees. Mine was named Lizzie Bell. She lived till she was old too, and we buried her in the backyard. That bird could wolf whistle and say hello, baby. Night all, Rose. Go easy on Ryan. He's just being funny. I know, but I can't edit it out of the live stream, so that's a little hard. Well, it's kind of messy. I guess you have to like them. Naughty Ryan. Now Sammy is saying it, thinking she's cute. She's 9, Ryan.
It's a letter.
Don't say it again, please.
Okay.
Ever. Wholesome Roots just popped in to say hello to you. Ryan, have a great time and go safely. Thank you, Glenn and Marine. I really appreciate you stopping in, Cabin Life. Rose, I hope your goats have an easy kidding. Good night. Good night, y'all. See you tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Don't worry, I won't punish him too harshly. And Vicky, I'm really sorry. Sammy, that is not a nice thing to say, sweetheart. I don't want to hear you saying that. I don't want your mama to hear you say that. Ryan is a little bit more grown up than he thinks he is sometimes. So, what? You want more of that?
Well, okay.
Right? Well, Ryan is lucky that you guys thought he was funny, because I didn't.
I didn't think it was such a big deal. Sorry.
Would I ever put that in one of my vlogs?
Mhm.
No. All right, you guys, it's been a pleasure. Totally enjoyed visiting with you. And don't worry, I won't leave them in the timeout corner too long. I've got to go check on my goats and see how they are doing and see if Kitty's in labor, because her udder was so big today. So big. So we're going to, oh, and for everybody to know, we're about 2 days ahead on our filming versus publishing. So there's about a 2-day delay. When you see stuff on the vlog, it's 2 days afterwards. And that's something that we're trying new so that we don't fall behind. And if we do fall behind, we won't be missing a day. And it's also so that we can schedule it to post at a specific time. So we've been scheduling them to post at 3:30. And that's supposed to help the YouTube algorithms so that our channel gets recommended more, because we were told that our channel wasn't getting recommended as much as a lot of other channels. So we're trying this to see if that improves our channel's recommendations on YouTube. He's okay. It's Friday. We're not going to let him stay in the doghouse. We're going to have a good weekend and enjoy ourselves and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting ready for our trip, so we got a lot to do this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy, busy weekend. Thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time on Wholesome Roots.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Night. Night.
Is it off? Is it?
I don't know. You gotta practice.
Is it? Wait. How do I turn this thing
I
off?
thought you knew how to turn it off.
What do I press? I don't remember. Oh
Just
no.
keep smiling.
It
looks like we're off.
Now I'm gonna